What is going, people from YouTube? Welcome back to another Pancho Things. Today I'm gonna be doing something different, something that I know that I never done. That is the first time I'm gonna do, and I don't know how am I gonna approach this. So, if you guys know, last hunting season I harvest for the first time a doe and a buck. Just as a memory, I don't like trophies, but as a memory, I decided that I wanted to keep the skulls. So, what we did was that we buried the doe on Loginson's yard, and we just dug it out. So we're gonna go through the process of cleaning it and just getting them nice and proper. So we took that one out, and I just buried the buck, the 8 pointer. So we just buried that one. But I'm gonna show you the process of what and kind of explain a little bit what we did. I'm gonna put you guys stationary somewhere so you guys can see what's happening. What we're gonna be using is the hose, done dish soap, half a brush, and a toothbrush to get in the small areas. We got the bowl. Now, we got normal. Pieces of skin that's still attached here, but everything else was completely eaten. And here is the jaws, the bottom jaws, which I'm gonna clean. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but we're gonna clean them as well and see what happens. And here's the tack. It's really sensitive. There's a couple of areas. These bones in the front, the nostrils here, super sensitive. Same on this corner here, these bones right here. I can feel it moving. Same with the teeth. You can see the rattling. So I gotta be really, really gentle with this. So this is gonna be a long process. So all in all, I would probably really give it another month. Everything internally was eaten. I'm gonna show you everything right now. Muscle tissue, any form of tissue inside, any form of residual skin and meat was eaten. Now there was a couple of spots on the top of the skull and on the back. The tissue was still connected on little areas. Not much, but little areas that were still connected. So I would have given it another month or two just to not have to deal with it. That was buried in November, and we are almost in July, so that's like what, 8 months? So I would have given it probably 9 to 10 months, and that probably would have not. I would probably not have to deal with it. So I'm gonna show you, but I'm gonna let it dry, and tomorrow we're gonna revise and see what's going on, and based on that, we'll see what we need to do. The one thing that I noticed is that it's really fragile. So I saw a couple of videos of people actually pressure washing these. I don't know how you can do that, because this part of the skull is super fragile, and I'm afraid that if I hit it with a pressure washer, it's gonna crack and break. Which brings me to another point, which is I need to find out a product that I can put that is clear, not shiny, but clear, that can give me a little bit of structure and kind of like bind all those soft areas and keep it a little bit tight so it doesn't break and fall apart. So I'll show you. Okay, let's start with the bottom jaw. It's pretty cool. Tooth comes off. So I'm gonna put it back in there. Okay. There's the bottom jaw. This area, right here, all the way up to right there, is super, super sensitive and sensible. So if you hit it too hard, it breaks. Okay. So the areas where there's a little bit of tissue is, see it right here. See if we can pick it up. See that little white area? That's just a tiny little bit of tissue. Same over here. You can see them right there. Few spots. So I'm gonna let it dry today, and we're gonna revise tomorrow and see what we're gonna do. I'm gonna place an order for the mount. I want to table mount this, not wall mounted. I'm gonna get the mounts for these, and because I want to match them, I'm gonna get also the mount for the one that is buried right now, the buck. And that's gonna be my reminder of my first two deer. I'm gonna find what can I use clear coated to give this more structure and keep it tight and keep those teeth from falling and keep everything from breaking and falling apart. So see you tomorrow. So day 2, the skull is dry. So something happened, something interesting happened, which later on I find out what it was, but initially I didn't know. So when the skull is wet, after I degreased it with the Dawn soap and the hose, what you guys saw, certain part of the bone structure got loose, and kind of like made me wonder. Well, I had to put some glue here and there. So, but once it dry out, now that it's dry, I feel that like still some areas are still loose, but it wasn't as loose as it was when it was wet. So then later I looked up that, yeah, that's a thing. When it's wet, it's gonna feel more loose than actually when it dries out. Then when it dries out, it solidifies a little bit better. I still gonna, certain areas I need to put some glue just to tighten it up. But first I need to try the glue on the areas that are not gonna be exposed, so I can see how it dries, make sure that it's clear dry, and go from there. So I'm gonna show you what's going on here. There's a little bit of play, and right here, let's see if you can notice, but there's a little bit of play on these areas. So I'm gonna kind of glue it up a little bit. And logically, I need to glue the tooth that comes off, and I'm gonna do the same process with the jaws. So, but yeah, I don't know if you can see, but the detail, the crack and crevices on the collar, I like that, versus just this being all white, you know. After that is dry, which will be probably tomorrow, it will take 24 hours for that glue to cure, we're gonna use, and so I'm gonna explain what this is. What this is a mop and cleaner. You can find this in like grocery stores or whatever, just in a cleaning aisle. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna put it on this bottle right here. And what this does is that this is gonna seal all the porous areas on the bone. So when the dirt gets in there or dust gets in there, it doesn't stay there. Like it's easy to clean, and it doesn't clog the pores, because once that happens, then it's really difficult to get that dust away, and then the piece will just not look great. So, but that's gonna be for the third part of this. So right now we're just gonna focus on the glue. So let's get started. So I got 2 different glues. I got Loctite glass glue, which is super clear. And I do have the Gorilla Glue, which a lot of people has talked wonders for this type of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this, and I'm going to test it on the downside, which is the area that nobody's going to see, just so I can see how it cures and see if it's truly clear. think that this will be manageable with the brush on the bottom, but not on the top. So things the tooth is not going to be seen. Then that's the first thing. I'm going to glue this guy. Alright, I'm gonna grab some gloves because I'm already starting to glue my fingers up. So I'm gonna identify these areas and I'm gonna put just little dabbles of glue. It's probably less noticeable when everything is bleached out. But since I'm leaving it raw, this color it makes it more difficult to pop up more because it's not white. But you know, it doesn't dry that shiny, but it does show. I'll show you when I'm done here. Shows a little bit of the shine. Let's glue this guy together just for fun. This color of the dough. Show you the areas that I glue. I glue in there. And I glue on the bottom there. The teeth. So there you have it. I just did the gluing. Now tomorrow, while this is all dry, then we're gonna do the spray. To be the first time that I'm doing this, I'm actually enjoying this. It's fun. So I'm gonna let it dry for tonight, and then we'll come back tomorrow and spray it, and we'll wait until the man shows up. See you tomorrow. Alrighty, day 3. So everything is dried. So we're gonna spray it with the mop and glow and get everything situated. So we're gonna go through that process. And then by tomorrow, we should be completely dry and nice. Alright, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is gonna be to put the mop and glow in the spray bottle, because that's gonna be way easier. Put a little zip tight here because I wanted to make sure that this was in place, but it's all dry now. So I'm gonna put quite some of this in here. So. I'm gonna stand them like this. I'm gonna leave it like this, standing on the corner just to let it dry, and we'll come back tomorrow and see how it looks and how it feels. Alright, so it's dry now, so I'm gonna show you the last result. I haven't got the mount yet. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna show you what this is, and then in the future when the mounts get here and I get everything situated, I'll show you an update, but this is the final product. You have it. I did like it's a euro amount of the dough. We're gonna do the same process with the buck, and we'll document it as well and see how that comes out. But to be the first time doing this and just following a couple of videos here and there and how they did it and kind of like getting the principle of how to do it, can't complain. Came out pretty good, and I actually like them like this. I don't like the white one. I think that you lose a lot of details, like the sewing on the head. Like it looks like a puzzles. So you miss some of that details. You miss some of the darkness. So I like him on this color. The Mop and Glow also give him a really nice smell. It didn't smell bad, but it smells citrusy. It smells really nice. So there you have it. So that's how I did these Euro mounts, I guess. And these are gonna be tabletops. Like I'm not gonna mount them on the wall. Same with the buck. So it's gonna be just a reminder of my first doe and my first buck. So there we go. Thank you so very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell so you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. And I will see you in the next one. I had to take a couple of weeks off. I ended up having to have a second dental surgery. I'm still recovering on that one, so I had to take it easy for a couple of weeks. So that's why I haven't been able to do much. But we're getting in there, and soon here we're going to do some stuff. So Pancho out.